Hey
Hey
guys, what's
guys!
up? Hey guys,
Hey
what's up? It's
guys!
me
Like and
and him.
subscribe.
Yeah, smash that like button down
Hey
below.
guys!
Yo, what's up?
Right, I reckon
Hey,
that's the trick, Ron. I
that's
reckon
the
we're
trick.
gonna
Yeah,
get
yeah. Okay, that's
billions
right.
of.
We're gonna get lots of we're gonna get gold level subscriptions, right?
Hey
Okay, so
guys!
hey guys, welcome to the Magic Morning Wood. My name's Ron, and with me as always is the other
Hey
guy.
guys! It's me as always, Clive. Clive guys. Hey guys!
Hey guys, make sure you smash the
Smash
like button
it! Yeah,
below
like and
and make sure
subscribe.
you like and subscribe, man. Okay. Yeah. Anyway, so now that's done. So how's it going, Clive?
I'm thoroughly annoyed with myself now. I'm
Hey
fine. How are
guys,
you,
how's it
Ron?
going? Hey guy, how's
Hey
it going?
guys! How's it going, guy? We just do this for an hour.
Yeah, and then we'll be viral.
Yes.
All right. Anyway,
The
hey
most
guys, move
stupid
on.
people on the internet.
So hey guys, let's
Hey
time to move on. We're gonna
guys!
we're gonna talk about some movies. All right.
Yeah,
So yeah. So if you like movies, smash the like button, okay?
smash it,
All right.
man.
We're
Like and subscribe. Hey guys!
So we're gonna talk about some movies. Yeah. You like movies, Clive?
I do, guys. Do you like
Yeah,
movies,
you like
Ron?
you like movies, guys? Come on,
If
guys,
you
let's
like
talk about
movies,
some movies.
smash it. Click the button. Hey
Smash it. Yeah, you
guys!
smash that button. All right, guys. So we're gonna talk about today. We're gonna talk about. Okay, it's getting
You're
old. I can't do that anymore.
alarmingly good at that, Ron.
Yeah, I'm pretty good. Yeah, I am pretty good, but I can't keep it up. I can't. So we're gonna talk about movies today. So we're reacting. We're gonna keep our algorithm on, and we're reacting to Donnie Darko, which was our last movie. And before we jump into our choices for Donnie Darko, we have a special uh, edition, which is we agreed last time we are gonna watch S Darko, the unofficial sequel. I don't know. Is it official
Yes.
or because it's official according to the studio that owns Donnie Darko, but
Yes.
not
Or one of
official
them or
according to the right,
something. Yeah.
but not official according to the writer director of the original, who
Right.
apparently is quite pissed off that it was ever made in the first place. So
Consider this our hey guys bonus talk for you guys.
bonus talk, yeah,
Yeah.
man. S
Smash it.
Darko, hey, hey, S Darko guys. Okay, so S Darko was in 2009. Is that right? Yeah,
Yeah. Or as
around give
it's
or
known
take.
in Japan, Donida Kotu.
Donnie Darko 2. Okay, Donnie Darko 2.
Hey
Playing
guys.
uh
Hey guys.
hey guys,
押してください. Hey guys. Like, subscribe more. Yo 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 お願いします. Yoroshiku. Guys. I don't know if that's how they do it. I'm not sure.
yeah, I don't know. I don't watch Japanese YouTube. So anyway, so
You
starring
said that with a certain amount of disdain. I don't watch Japanese YouTube.
my Japanese is not good enough to watch it, so I don't know. Anyway, so 2009, written by Nate Atkins and directed by Chris Fisher, who
Hmm.
apparently was just like a big fan of the first movie, and then decided to do a sequel following Donnie's sister,
Right. I
Samantha,
think
and played
Chris,
by
the only other Chris Fisher thing I think I might have seen um was he made before this one of the films he made Night Stalker about the Richard Ramirez, right, the serial killer. If you remember,
oh,
like
okay.
around around 2005-ish, around there, if you remember, there was like a spate of those like direct to video based on real life serial killer films, wasn't there? I think.
Oh yeah, okay,
And
yeah.
there was like I seem to remember, I can't remember who it was. I seem to remember some DVD label in particular put them out, and all the covers had a kind of variation on the same theme. They all looked a little bit similar,
Mm,
and you had like
right.
Hillside Strangler and stuff like that. And I think Chris Fisher made the Richard
Was that
Ramirez.
one Meeting Evil? Was that the one?
I don't know. I think it's just called Night Stalker.
Night Stalker. Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know. That was oh, Night Stalker. Okay, that was his first thing he did.
Right.
And then he
I think I
also did
might have
one
seen
on
that
he
back in the
also did
day.
one on the Hillside Strangler.
Oh, he did the Hillside Strangler one as well, did he?
Yeah, Rampage.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe
Anyway.
he made, maybe it was him who made them all. I don't know, but I just remember them being about, and I'm seeing, and they all had terrible reviews and reputations. And I think I
Yeah, they're
saw
all
that
like
one,
pretty.
and it wasn't very good.
Yeah, they're all pretty low rated, 3.4, 4.3. Anyway, so yeah, it looks like he's now is more like a TV director, producer guy. So hasn't done too much, yeah. But was able to
Did you say a
get
TV guys?
TV guys. But was able to get the original actress from Donnie Darko playing who played Sam, Davy Chase. I assume that's
Right.
pronounced how you pronounce her name. Dave or Davy?
I would
Davy?
say Davy, I guess. She
Yeah.
was the she was the Sadako of the American Ring, wasn't she?
Yes. Yes,
Samara.
she was Samara of the American Ring, and she was also the voice of Lilo from Lilo and Stitch. So she's in the
Oh, is that
Disney.
right?
Yeah, yeah.
I've
So
never
she,
seen
yeah,
Lilo and
and
Stitch. So when you were watching
yeah.
this film, does she sound like Lilo or does she do a funny voice as Lilo?
I didn't really, I wasn't really listening to it. I haven't seen Lilo and Stitch in a long time, so I can't. I'm not sure. I think it's not a funny voice. It's just like a kid's voice. So I think she was kind of young at the time. So it was 2002. So I think she. Can you not hear me? Hello?
No, no, it's fine. I'm just
Okay.
gonna put
Oh,
these
okay.
in so I can hear you
Oh,
better, maybe. Carry on.
oh, okay. Um, yeah, she uh can you hear me now?
Hang on, it's not registering them yet. You carry on, I can hear you anyway. Go on.
Okay. So it was 2002, so I think she was quite young at the time too. So I think she was an actual kid. She was 12 at the time, so she probably just used her normal 12-year-old voice at the time. She was also the voice of Chihiro in the
Ah,
American dub of Spirited Away, Senso
right.
Chihiro. Yeah.
So, so
So
Lilo,
early 2000s, she was
sorry,
like,
Lilo in because I know nothing of is
Mhm.
Lilo a little girl then, the character Lilo.
Yes, yeah, yeah, yeah,
Right. And what
yeah. It
Stitch?
said
What
it.
is Stitch?
Stitch is like that blue guy with the big ears. He's like
Ah, right,
he's
I've
an
seen him.
alien.
Yes, yes, yes. And
Yeah,
what's he
yeah, yeah.
supposed to be?
He's an alien.
Right. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So she's like a little girl from Hawaii, and ends up thinking that Stitch is like her pet. So he adopts Stitch as a pet, but he's kind of like this kind of bad alien. I don't know. It's
Okay.
yeah. So it's yeah, but yeah, it's as Disney movies go, it's probably one of the better ones. It's because it's kind of edgy a little bit. So it's like they got like space aliens and shooting and stuff like that. So it's a little
Okay.
bit kind of yeah. So
There was a live
I,
action remake, wasn't there, recently?
yes, I believe there was. Yeah, I think that's because that's what all that Disney does now is live action remakes
Yes.
of
But I
their
suppose
experience.
your kids are probably a bit too old for that now. They didn't watch that.
Yeah, we didn't watch it. I think we saw the original back in the day, but no, I haven't seen the original. But my kids will watch some of the live action. We saw the live action Lion King
Hmm.
live action, and
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, etc. But yeah, so early 2000s, she had quite a um like she was quite a child star actually. Like she was
Yes,
like a lot of
I
work.
suppose so.
Yeah,
I mean, I didn't know about the Lilo and Stitch thing, but certainly, yes, I would imagine
Mm.
that alone would
Yeah.
afford someone a certain celebrity among a certain
Yeah, so
demographic.
she's like a Disney lead,
Yeah,
she's leading like probably the most well-known or popular Miyazaki movies. She was leading that one, and then The Ring. I mean, she's very iconic
yeah,
from, in that one, and Donnie Darko, stuff like that. So, and then she kind of just stopped doing stuff. She kind of got fell into the old thing into doing
yeah.
independent movies and kind of really low budget stuff and then came back for this movie and kind of fell off the face of the earth after this. She's stopped working in 2016, so she hasn't worked in like 18. So I think she gave up on Hollywood.
Right. I tell you what, Ron. I tell you what it
Hmm.
is I am kind of suspicious. Um, I'm doubting her commitment to Sparkle Motion at this point.
I think so. Yeah, yeah. I think
Still one of
yeah,
my favorite lines from the original.
she's not
That did
serious about Sparkle
that did
Motion.
make me laugh. Yes, I wonder if she does do like I wonder if she turns up at like cons and things like sign stuff or
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I don't know what she. I mean, there's like I tried to figure out like what is she doing now, but there's like doesn't seem to be any information about what she does
yeah.
anymore.
We'll talk a
Yeah.
little bit more about her actually as the lead of this film after you kind of get into the well, try and do the
Mm.
plot. Because I think a lot of this film's problems, and not just, but yeah, she's the whole weight of the movie kind of lies on her, and
Sure. Yeah.
that's kind of potentially problematic. But anyway, so yeah,
Mm.
so we
Yeah.
jump forward, right? This is 95 it's set in, isn't it?
Right. Yeah. So it's like 7 years later, or give or take,
Yeah,
something like that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Which
And
means I was quite the most surprising thing about this film for me because I hadn't heard "Hobo Humpin' Slow Mo Babe" by Whale for 30 years, and then it suddenly comes on in a pool party scene, and I was like,
I've
"Oh,
never
Hobo
never heard
Hump!
that song before. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That was
I
massive in
liked
the
how.
90s."
Oh, really? Yeah. No, I never heard that before. Yeah.
Oh,
Maybe in the UK, I guess. They really. I appreciate how he really tried to get some real deep cuts, but probably low royalty, like 90 songs. I could tell all the songs were 90s and real like deep cut 90 songs, but
right.
probably ones that were less well known and had lower, lower
Yeah.
royalties to them. So,
No,
but
that's the only
yeah,
one I recognized. And to be honest, I honestly
I
thought
I
you
didn't
would.
recognize any of the other ones, but I could tell that this had
Right.
that 90s feel to them. You know what I mean? So,
I thought that one was like one of those things that college radio stations around the world played nonstop. So I really thought you would have the same nostalgic reaction that I had to hearing that song. But
no, I
surprisingly,
never
I
heard
had
of
it
her.
before.
Yeah. Yeah, but maybe didn't make it to Canada. So,
I don't know
uh,
where Whale are from, actually. I have no idea. They're
yeah,
American. They
no.
sound American, but then
Mm,
again, a lot of
mm,
British bands in those days sounded a bit
mm.
American, right? Or I'm not
Sure.
quite
Yeah, yeah,
sure
yeah.
where they're from. I'm going to look it up actually while you carry on.
Yeah. So anyway, so Samantha S. Darko, who is S in the title, is kind of like still dealing with her brother's death, and is kind of like a emo chick. Hey guys, I'm all emo,
Hey
like that.
guys,
And
smash that button.
yeah,
Oh, here we go.
and
Whale were actually from Sweden.
oh, okay,
Right.
there
Yeah.
we go. Um, Yeah, and so she goes on a road trip, kind of runs away from her family, I guess is the idea, and then she goes on a road trip with her friend Corey, played by Brianna Evigan, who was mostly big from like the Stepping Out movies or Step Up movies, which are
Ah,
all like the
okay.
dance
Right.
movies. So she's like a dancer kind of thing. So she was in those kind of and Ask Me to Dance. All of those are kind of like dance themed
That
movies, teen
makes
movies.
sense. She looks like
Mm,
she belongs in that environment, doesn't she? She looks
sure.
like
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. So,
she looks like I can just imagine her as like the
yeah,
sassy
yeah,
bad chick who gets
yeah, sure,
owned at the end of it. Do you know what I mean? You can just see it all written
sure.
all over her.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Um,
Step up,
yeah. So then,
bitch, or something
yeah,
like
bitch.
that. And
Hey
then yeah.
guys, step up.
Hey
Yeah.
guys, if you like stepping up bitches, smash that button. Yeah.
So anyway, their car breaks down and they end up in this kind of like podunk town in Utah. I believe it's in Utah, right?
It is
Uh,
shot in Utah, yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And so I believe it's in Utah. And they meet like the cool the cool guy who's got the glasses and he's gonna fix their car and he kind of hits on them a little bit
Very
and
mid-90s cool.
very yeah, midnight. He's got but he's
Yeah.
not even midnight. He's more like he thinks he's from the 50s because he's got like the cigarette pack rolled up in his white
Well,
t-shirt,
yeah,
you
but
know.
that was a bit of a 90s
He's
thing
like
for a while there.
was
If
it?
you
Yeah,
imagine,
it
I
was
don't
more
know, he's
50s,
been
wasn't it?
watching too many Skeet Ulrich movies or something,
Yeah,
that
sure.
kind of
Yeah,
thing.
yeah. Yeah. Played by Ed Westwick, and didn't really know him from anything. So, and then there's kind of like a guy with PTSD who was in the Iraq War, named whose name is actually Justin.
Yeah, but they
We
call him
find out, but
Iraq Jack.
everyone calls him Iraq Jack. Yeah. So, and he's got a PTSD, kind of this crazy guy, kind of roams around, and he's yeah, and
And John
then
Hawkes
there's
as the
John Hawkes
conspiracy
says, yeah,
theorist.
yeah, there's a couple cameos in here, people I didn't expect to be in this. Like John Hawkes as the conspiracy theorist, but he's also like the runs the hotel or whatever that
Yes, yes,
he's
that they
staying at,
stay
yeah.
at. Yeah,
And
I
then
always
and
liked John
also
Hawkes. Hmm.
yeah, yeah, yeah. He's I was like, oh, it's John Hawkes, yeah.
Hmm.
Also, Elizabeth Berkley pops up, which I thought was pretty hilarious.
Oh, was she? Who
Um,
is she?
she was the religious woman.
Oh, right. Oh, yes. Okay. Yeah, I didn't recognize her. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Really? Yeah, I
Yeah.
recognized her immediately. I was like, holy fuck, it's Elizabeth Berkley.
As
Yeah,
in
Elizabeth
Elizabeth Berkley, I'm not misremembering. She's Showgirls. Yeah,
Showgirls.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Showgirls. Yeah, Showgirls
Ah.
and Saved by the Bell, right? So yeah, so she shows
Oh,
up
okay.
as like
I
this
know her
kind
from
of
Showgirls. I didn't
yeah,
know the Saved by the
yeah,
Bell.
who was yeah, but that was the whole story was that's why Showgirls was so the thing that it became was because she was famous for being on this kind of teen show, Saved by the Bell, and then she tried to break away from that image by doing Showgirls, which failed miserably, right? So which was
Oh,
that's
okay.
why
I
that
never
became a
heard
big
that
thing, right?
side of it before.
Oh yeah, that was like part of the story, yeah. So anyway, so having her pop up as this kind of religious woman was kind of fun. Um, as well, I recognized also Matthew Davis, who plays the pastor,
All right. Yeah.
who I know him from. He was in Vampire Diaries, so he
Oh,
plays
okay.
Alaric in Vampire Diaries.
I, I get the feeling
Um,
from reading up about it as well, that Patrick Swayze may have returned if he hadn't had health problems to play that role, right? So which kind of connects because he was ended up being a pedo in the first film, right?
hmm.
So I
He would have
guess he
played the
was
same
out of
character.
prison
He
and
would have played
became.
he would have played a different character.
No, no, he would have played that character, the priest.
Was that meant to be the same person?
Well, I don't know, but Patrick Swayze was supposed to play him apparently.
Oh, really? I didn't
So
know
that
that.
kind of makes
Okay.
sense.
Well,
That he's
yeah. I
got a
mean,
yeah.
well, I can see that they were definitely trying to like recreate that storyline a little bit. So, but
Mhm.
um,
Yeah,
yeah.
apparently the two casting things was he almost came back and they tried to get Maggie Gyllenhaal, but she wasn't interested.
Ah, right. Yeah. So,
Yeah.
um, yeah. Fair enough. Yeah, and also Richard Kelly, who wrote and directed the first one, like hates this movie. Like he's like refuses to ever see it, and he like really seems to be quite bitter about it. So I think so. Um, so that may have had something to do with it. So
Right.
yeah. So how do we explain this movie? Like so she shows up, and there's kind of like small town people, and they
There's
meet
the
the
meteorite.
pastor.
Meteorite hits
Yeah, oh yeah. So the
a
meteorite,
windmill.
yeah. So the meteorite. So they kind of try to like kind of parallel the structure of the first one, where it starts with this kind of like natural disaster and someone gets killed by something falling from the sky. Where in this case, Iraq Jack is sitting on like a windmill and he gets hit by a meteorite. And
A church catches
anyways,
fire as
and
well.
yeah, well, that's yeah, like but in this case, instead of it being Frank the Bunny, she like Samantha herself is kind of like the kind of
Right. Oh yeah, we should mention
entity,
that
or whatever you want
Iraq
to call
Jack
it.
builds
And
himself
Iraq
a
Jack,
bunny
yeah,
head,
Iraq
doesn't
Jack
he?
finds the time travel book from the first one that she has for some reason, and sees the drawing of the bunny head, and then makes like a mask, like a metal mask
Yeah.
of that bunny
And
head.
then there's the
Uh,
character who's the nerd guy who's got a weird rash who buys the meteorite who
hmm,
falls for David Chase. Um, and which she assures him at one point with the strange line of dialogue, I don't think you're a gay. Which
yeah,
apparently is supposed to be like, oh, thank God. It's a
yeah,
very weird.
yeah,
If
yeah.
it was supposed to be like funny and
And
odd,
he falls
then
in love
it's
with her because
funny.
yeah,
But I don't think it's
yeah,
supposed to be. I think it's actually supposed to be like a proper line of dialogue. Um,
yeah, yeah, yeah. And
it's very weird.
but of course that's what makes him fall for her, because she doesn't think he's a gay. So
A gay, yeah, one of
a
them
gay, like
gays, yeah,
yeah, plural, yeah, like a countable noun, right? So um the yeah, so but they've got kind of the elements with like the water things that coming into the chest,
yes. There's a brief
and but
flashback to Sparkle Motion. We see them in action for a
yes,
couple of
yeah,
seconds.
yeah, for seconds, yeah. And yeah, they try to take a lot of the elements from the first one and tries to kind of like almost recreate them or do them again. But in this case, she's the Frank the Bunny without the bunny head, because she's kind of the one that kind of sleepwalks and does this kind of like talking to him in her sleep kind of thing,
Hmm.
and telling the future, and so the Iraq Jack is kind of like the Donnie character, where she's kind of like the Frank character, even though she's the main character. So yeah, it gets a little muddled that way. And then at one point she gets into the friend kind of falls for the cool guy, and then they get into a fight, and then she gets hit by the car. The Sam gets hit by the car, and then which was I didn't expect to have the main character die 45 minutes in, but then the friend makes a wish or something, and then ends up reversing time, and then sacrifices herself instead, and has it so that she dies. And yeah, so it's kind of quite challenging to explain this movie. I don't know, it kind of goes all over. It's quite muddled and a little bit kind of all over,
Yeah.
but yeah.
Well, also,
Anything
I
else?
think the main difference between it and Donnie Darko is, even we talked about when we talked about Donnie Darko, you don't necessarily even need to go to the trouble of doing that, right? But if you were to do it, I think
Yeah,
people
sure.
feel you would be rewarded in some way with Donnie Darko. With S Darko, I think most people are, I can't be bothered. I don't really care, because
Yeah, yeah.
it's I it's weird. If you go online, there's a whole lot of people who like hate this film, right? Like, yeah, it's the worst
Yeah, it
film
was
ever.
really, yeah,
And
yeah,
it's and you're
yeah.
thinking, wow, these people have never sat through a really bad film, clearly. Like,
I think clearly you don't know Clive Davis.
yes, yes, you don't have access to my library of horrors.
So
But
that's the thing is I went in expecting it to be like really terrible. Like I thought it was gonna
yes,
be like really shit. But it wasn't that bad. It was
no,
okay.
it's just
They had
quite
it was just
boring and
yeah, it's
ineffectual. Yeah,
boring. Yeah, I think
yeah,
yeah. So I think they kind of took like a lot of the main elements and tried to recreate it. And I mean it wasn't I mean I expected I think my expectations were really low. So
yeah, yeah,
because of that I was like, well, I mean it's I think which was good because I was like, nah, it wasn't bad. I mean, they tried to get kind of the same atmosphere and the feeling, and a lot of the elements were still there, kind of thing. It just was kind of like a like a fan fiction version of it,
yeah,
kind of thing, right? So it wasn't necessary, but it was better than I expected. I'll say that because, but
yeah. It
yeah,
kept my attention for like the first maybe 30 minutes just because, yeah,
mm,
same as you, I was just, oh, this isn't shit right out the gate, right? So I was like, oh,
right,
okay,
exactly,
I'll
yeah,
give it a.
yeah,
But the
give it
more
a
I
go,
went, like Donnie
yeah,
Darko is you can feel whether you like it or not, you can feel at least Donnie Darko's resting on like a bed of like Richard Kelly had not necessarily like a idea of what it's about or anything like that, but it's resting on ideas that are very personal to him or images he's had or dreams or
mm,
it feels like something he had to tell. And
right,
S Darko feels like it's not, it's only the only base for it is Donnie Darko. Do you know what I mean? There's nothing
yeah,
underneath
yeah,
it. It's it's like a
yeah.
spell.
I think that's the thing is that Richard Kelly had um a mythology behind it that
Right,
he
right.
understood inherently when he was making it. Whereas the person who made this one basically just watched on Darko and was trying to recreate it, but didn't really understand it, kind of thing, right? So, and
Yeah,
and fair enough. It wasn't terrible, but as a movie to itself, it was, yeah, same thing. I got to about halfway, and then I just started my interest just kind of
yeah.
started to wane. It just got a little bit too one note, boring a little bit. It was
Yes.
there was
It felt,
no
yeah.
like levels, yeah, to it. So
It felt like a manufactured cult film
mm,
attempt rather than something
sure, yeah, yeah, yeah,
organic.
yeah.
And yeah, I think a lot of the problem is so Davy Chase is kind of interesting, right? Because obviously she's good looking, right? And the camera likes her as well, right? Like
Mm,
she's got that kind of waifish good
mm,
looks, which are actually quite difficult to get on film as well, right? Like sometimes
mm,
you meet people like that in real life, but then under the glare of cameras and lights, and it doesn't quite.
mm.
But she's got that look, which is
Translate,
rare
yeah.
for the movie screen, and props to this. I'm sure she had makeup and stuff to support her as well, and the
Mm,
lighting and the camera and everything. But she's certainly got a movie star's kind of look, but
mm,
and she's I wouldn't even say she's a bad actor. Like now and again, she's even actually quite good, but she's limited, right? So
mm,
I think she works well in a film like she did in Donnie Darko in a way as a
mm,
peripheral character or limited amount of screen time. But as the lead
mm.
of this film, she has to do a lot of things, right? And I
Yes, yeah. I
don't think she quite has the
think she's up
scope.
for it. Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I think yeah, she's
She's
not.
trying,
She's
and even
yeah.
I even within the special pleading, you could argue, well, her character's supposed to be a bit spaced and out of it, and even within that perimeter, she has to do a bit more up and down than she does, and
Mm,
she's just kind of she's like
yeah.
sometimes when something happens, you think, oh, come on now, react, and
Mm.
oh, like it's just not, and it's difficult to tell
Yeah.
whether it's her problem or whether she was directed badly or so. I'm
Mm,
certainly
mm,
not. I'm not trying to at her. I'm not like saying um she's awful. It's not
mm.
that. It's just that I don't think she can carry this film.
Yeah. Not like Jake Gyllenhaal did, right? So Jake Gyllenhaal
Exactly. Yeah.
carried
Exactly.
had the chops to kind of have the levels and to keep the momentum going. Whereas
Yes. You
yeah,
could even
she yeah
argue that Donnie Darko might not work with anyone else in it.
exactly yeah, and I think we talked about that, which is that
We did. Yeah.
he
Hey
is that
guys, if you want
character.
to hear that
Yeah.
chat, go
Hey
back,
guys, yeah,
smash
you
it,
can go
like and
back. Yeah, it's in the
subscribe.
yeah
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, but I think yeah. So yeah, I totally agree with you. I think she is not bad. She's okay, and definitely certain times she's quite good. But yeah, she can't keep it up the whole time,
Right.
right? Which is
Exactly.
it, and yeah, and then the whole kind of thing is quite kind of emo and kind of maudlin
Hmm.
and soft and so and there's not a lot of levels. So at least in Donnie Darko, there's kind of elements where like suddenly
Right.
something scary or
Yeah.
interesting happens. Whereas this is kind of like it's just there's no like shocking or interesting things. It's just kind of
Yeah.
it feels like it's interesting that they made her like a sleepwalker because the whole thing feels like sleepwalking a little bit.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
In
so
keeping
yeah, I mean yeah.
the other thing they try and copy from the first one as well is that kind of those slow mo montages where in the first like, oh, isn't this like, aren't people strange or whatever, and they go around and people are
Mm,
doing strange high school activities, and it takes you and it gives you a bit of objective distance. You think, yeah, high school is weird, right? But they try the same thing here, but it's just people doing normal.
normal
Nothing
stuff.
jumps
Yeah,
out
yeah,
as whoa,
yeah,
it's
yeah,
just
yeah,
oh,
yeah, yeah.
someone going to the shop or
Yeah.
walking down the
Yeah.
road. It's yeah.
The other thing that stood out to me was like the water things. Because
Yeah.
like yeah, in the first one, in Donnie Darko, it was basically just like this, and then the person walks. It
Right.
was like a 1 second kind of like I'm telling the future 1 second
Yeah,
beforehand
kind of like
kind
a
of thing, right? So
wormhole
it's
kind of
like
thing. Yeah.
yeah, like this is the direction they're going to take, and so follow this, and then they follow that exact same path, right? I can see where you're going to go in a minute or in a minute from now. Whereas this one was like they just were like these kind of like worm things that were kind of like spiraling and kind of
Yeah, it's
flowing around
totally
and stuff, and I was like,
arbitrary, isn't it? It's just because it's
I
in
was
the
like, what
first
does that
film.
even mean? Like what?
Yeah.
Like yeah, so that didn't have any. So that kind of said to me that was indicative of the fact that the person maybe didn't quite get what they
No,
were actually supposed to be doing. Yeah, because they didn't really know what that even was.
no.
So yeah,
I'm
yeah,
surprised actually it's 9 years after the first film because it strikes me as more like
mm,
something that would have come out almost immediately. Like,
yeah,
and that's how I remember it as well, as it coming out quite soon after. And then I was quite surprised, well, there's
yeah,
almost a 10-year gap because it's
mm,
it's it's enough of a gap for someone to come to their senses, isn't it? But they
sure.
didn't. Like you could see
Maybe
someone doing it in the first 2 3 years. I fucking love Donnie Darko. I must
yeah,
make my
yeah,
homage.
yeah,
But
yeah,
if
yeah,
they've got
yeah,
like nine
yeah.
years, you could think about year 4 5. They might realize, ah, shit.
Yeah.
This is not
Yeah,
worth doing.
yeah.
Um,
Maybe Richard Kelly was like blocking them for the whole time. It was like, and they were ready to go from like year one, but Richard Kelly was like, no, and then finally he gave up.
here we go. In the spirit of our new Hey Guys, our clickbait approach, which I'm sure will work and will be wealthy within. We probably already are.
Yeah, yeah.
I think I'll put this up with one of those click. It'll be Clive and Ron slam Lilo or something like that. Yeah.
Lilo. Yeah, I mean, so that's pretty much all I got to say about Estarco. It was, it wasn't as bad as I expected, but it still wasn't great. Yeah, so
No, I kind of get. I suppose I kind of get. Like if you were, because if you were like an uber fan of Donnie, like if you really
yeah,
loved Don Daco, this does feel like
it feels. I mean, the hate feels a little bit like the fanboys these days, like the Marvel fanboys or like whatever, like everything. Yeah, this is
Yes.
terrible because that's supposed to be black, but it's actually white, and
Right,
like
right,
shit like
right.
that. Like who gives a shit? Like it just feels. Like those people who are complaining about this movie feel a little bit like that. Like it's like
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
like it wasn't that bad. It was just
Although not quite
not a
as vitriolic
great.
and kind
Yeah.
of racist and sexist and misogynist as people nowadays, right?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah. So yeah, but
you
yeah.
stole
So
my
but
childhood, George Lucas, and you're thinking,
yeah,
fuck's sake, man! Like, what is wrong
calm
with it? Like, I
down.
don't like, but
Just a movie.
what the fuck? It's it
Mm,
really it
yeah,
is
yeah,
mind-boggling how people was like how entitled people are, right? Like
yeah,
even if like a
yeah,
film I really 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 loved, if someone made it, I'd think, oh, that's not very good, but I'm not gonna cry about it and fucking,
yeah.
like, grow the fuck up, dude. What's wrong
You
with you?
still have that other movie. Like, who cares if you don't like it? Don't watch it. Yeah, I
Yeah,
don't know. So
yeah.
yeah.
Oh, no,
So,
right,
but
fuck.
anyway,
What are we doing? That's not, no. Yeah, hey guys, tell
hey
us how much you
guys,
hate this.
no
No,
fuck.
it sucks. Hit
Yeah,
the
fuck
button,
those
like, subscribe.
guys,
Yeah, shit, we forgot.
incels.
We were
Fuck those
reasonable there,
incels.
Ron. We shouldn't be doing that. That doesn't get hits and likes. Anyway, which
Okay,
film are we gonna
so
slam next, Ron?
now, so we're actually going to react now to Donnie Darko, not just the so we're going to choose our choices, right? So I chose the classic
This is,
1991.
if you've never seen it at work before, viewers, by the way, pay attention. This is trolling going on in front of your eyes. This is how it works. Pay attention.
I chose the Criterion Collection,
It might actually be on there.
undoubtedly.
You never know. There's some weird stuff on there sometimes.
This amazing movie from 1991 starring Hulk Hogan called
Hmm.
Suburban Commando.
Hulk
So,
Hogan, who
uh,
died recently, is that right?
yes, so he just died. Yeah, just
Yeah.
died. Yeah.
So we
So
can
you
say
were
whatever the fuck we
dying.
like
You're
about it.
Clive and Ron Slam Hulk Hogan, right? So
That's actually good because he's still recently dead. He's still a bit warm.
yeah,
So
so
we
that's
would
still
seem
yeah, it's
more
still warm. Yeah,
heartless
so
and yeah.
more
Okay, let's go
heartless.
for
Yeah,
it.
and more clickbait.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, so Clive was like, so I chose this, and Clive was like, why? And I had so many texts like, why did you choose this? What is the connection?
Well, number one, I couldn't see the
I thought,
connection, so I thought you were
so
cheating.
first I thought
Yeah.
I'd just let you stew a little bit about it, right? So I was surprised that you didn't get the connection.
Is it quite an obvious
Um,
one, is it? To Donnie Darko.
not that obvious. It's a pretty thin connection, but I mean that's where we're going with loose connections. But it was because in Donnie Darko at the Halloween party, Donnie's friend is dressed up like Hulk Hogan.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Is that it?
That's it.
Wow. You've really opened the
And
door to a whole new world of loose connections now.
it was like, so when I was watching Dark, it was like, because Hulk Hogan just died, right? And I was watching Dark, I was like, oh, he's dressed up like, oh, that's a good Halloween costume. Back in the day when people used to go as, Hulkamania, when they were for Halloween stuff like that, it was really big. And there's like the, Hulk Hogan, like the Rock and Wrestling, the TV show. Did you ever see that? He had like
I don't think I saw that,
he had
no.
a, yeah, it was like an animated TV show with him and the rest of the wrestlers from the 80s, and they're all animated and they go on adventures and stuff like that, and
Oh,
you
that
have
does
all the
sound vaguely
wrestlers and stuff like that.
familiar, actually. I
Yeah, yeah.
wonder if they might have retitled it for the UK if it would have called
Mm,
something else. Maybe, I don't
mm,
know.
possible. Yeah, we called it Hulk Hogan's Rock and Wrestling, I think it was called. It's like a Saturday morning cartoon. So,
I'll
and
look that up.
the just the huge Hulkamania, thing at the time. And so that was like really, timely for the Donnie Darko in late 80s, early 90s kind of thing, right? So Hulk Hogan. So, anyway, so I saw him, his friend was dressed up like Hulk Hogan, and I was like, oh, and Hulk Hogan just died. Hey, and actually, we had actually recently just had a discussion about Hulk Hogan movies and about this movie in specific. Do you remember? You were talking about the mime scene.
Yes, yes, I do remember that, yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So in that case, I was like, hey, it's a good time to kind of like pay homage
Are
to
you saying
Hulk
I've only
Hogan
got
and
my
his
own self to blame, is what you're trying to say?
exactly because you put it in my head for so and pay homage to Hulk Hogan and his legacy, before he as he's just passed on. And yeah, and actually I think um our choices were actually pretty similar in a lot of ways. So we'll talk about that later when you get to your
Yes,
choices. So
actually,
yeah,
strangely enough,
yeah,
yeah. Oh, I just found
we
Hulk
went
Hogan's Rock and Wrestling. No, apparently it was called Rock and Wrestling in the UK
UK as
and
well.
actually
Yeah.
in Japan. It was called
Oh,
Hulk Hogan no
Loken
Rock and Wrestling.
Loken Leslie.
Yeah,
Okay, yeah. So
I don't remember anything about it though.
yeah. Oh yeah, yeah.
Were
Um,
there any like near like because um obviously the legacy is deep and wide. Were there any other possible Hulk Hogan vehicles that, or was it just always going to be Suburban Commando for you?
no, I looked at some of the other ones. I was thinking of maybe No Holds Barred, and what were the other ones like he's because I was going to go through his filmography, um, but like a lot of like it's hard to go because every time he's in any wrestling match, it's counted as him being an actor
Right,
rather than so it's hard to actually find movies that he's in because you're kind of
right,
okay, that's just WrestleMania,
right,
WWE Raw, WrestleMania. Oh, here's a movie, or it's like, oh wait, is that a movie? Like so
right.
you kind of have to like it takes a while. So I kind
Well,
of
to your point
went
there,
through and
weirdly enough, I was just scrolling now, and did you? I think you did. Did you ever watch the British comedy show The Inbetweeners?
yeah,
Right. So apparently, according to the IMDb,
he was
season
on that.
one, episode 9, Hulk Hogan plays Hulk Hogan. Now, I think I would have remembered if Hulk Hogan turned up in the Inbetweeners as a guest. So I'm guessing
I
this
don't
must
remember
be
that
like
either.
wrestling on TV or something. It's got to be, right?
It could be, yeah. I don't know. I don't remember. Maybe it was like a fantasy sequence or something, or I
I
haven't seen the
feel as if
interviews
I
in a
would
while,
have
so
remembered that. Um, oh, hang on.
um,
Hang on. I know what I've
it's a
done.
different in-betweeners.
Yes,
It's
I
not
didn't
the
even know
same.
this. They remade it.
Oh, and that's because I mean I was looking, I was like the in-betweeners, and I was looking at the rating. It's 2.9. I was like, in-betweeners was better than
Yeah, no,
2.9. That was
apparently
pretty,
there was an
yeah. So it's a new one.
MTV remake of The Inbetweeners.
Like an American version,
Yeah, I didn't even know that.
directed by Taika Waititi.
Oh, that episode?
Or he directed five of the
Oh,
episodes of
okay.
this show.
Interesting.
Yeah,
So there
really.
we go. Yeah, that's more likely that Hulk Hogan turned up in
That's
that
why.
then.
Yeah,
There
yeah.
we go. Okay.
Okay, yeah. So it was the American reboot,
I'm
right?
not
So
watching that
yeah,
though. There's no way on earth.
yeah,
No.
yeah. So yeah, so but a lot of them was like, for example, Rocky 3. I mean, I'm not going to pick Rocky 3 in the middle of that. So it just seemed like this was, and you had mentioned this one recently, and I was kind of curious to revisit it, this because I wanted just to see what it would be like with today's lens. So and also I knew it would kind of annoy you, so that's why I picked it. So
Yeah, now we're getting to the meat of the issue. That's the main reason.
but
Um,
yeah, so Suburban Commando, where Hulk Hogan plays Shep Ramsey, an intergalactic hero,
yeah,
and also starring like lots like star-studded cast as well. I mean, you have to say Christopher Lloyd, Shelley
yeah.
Duvall, Larry Miller playing his kind of normal slimy guy. Roy Dotrice shows up, who's like a super famous, like a Shakespearean actor, and he's really respected, like British
Did he
actor.
play the
Roy
bad guy?
Dotrice. Yeah,
All right.
he
Okay.
was. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And oh, and I thought this was a kind of interesting trivia. Was um, what's your face? Uh, um, Elizabeth Moss shows up as the little girl with the cat in the tree.
Remind me who
Elizabeth Moss,
Elizabeth
who's
Moss is.
from Mad Men and Handmaid's Tale. The new show Handmaid's Tale, the
Oh,
new show.
right. Yes. Oh, is that
Yeah,
her? Is
yeah,
it?
yeah. And she's also from the lead from one of the leads from
Yes, I
Mad
know her
Men.
from Mad Men.
So,
She's the
so she's like
secretary from Mad Men. Yeah.
really like big respected
Yes.
like
I just
actress
didn't
now.
recognize the
And
name. Yeah.
Yeah, and she was the
She's
kid
that's not my
with
cat
the cat.
girl.
That's not my cat. Yeah, so,
Ah,
and then gets thrown by the at the end and he
right.
catches her. Yeah, that's yeah Elizabeth Moss in one of her first roles. So yeah, so so we got like some cool cameos in there. Um, and yeah, so basically, Shep Ramsey is a intergalactic hero, kind of, and he's being forced by his boss to take a break. He doesn't like to take breaks. He finishes. He's like a bounty hunter kind of hero, kind of freelance for hire, kind of intergalactic hero kind of thing.
Hmm.
And he
I'm imagining
wants the
he's
next
like
job.
friends with those two dudes from Critters, you know.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Yeah, something like that.
And he goes and so his boss tells him he's got to take a break, so he goes to Earth and
I
to
hate
take a
Earthlings, he says.
things,
Yeah.
yeah. I hate, yeah. And he's got six weeks where he's got to take a break, and so he kind of rents a room from Christopher Lloyd and Shelley Duvall's family, and yeah, and then proceeds to um, have a lot of hijinks and a
Is that what they are?
lot of a lot of gags,
Right.
and at the same time, Christopher Lloyd finds his sort of uh, I don't know, his space gear and turns it on. It ends up being a homing beacon for some bounty hunters who come to Earth to try to get him. And they so then they've got to fight these bounty hunters and some little bit of action stuff. And yeah, and then also the boss, I guess, turns out to be the bad guy. Was it the boss or yeah, yeah? So
I
he
remember. I remember
yeah,
there's some
and he turns into like a big
Japanese
lizard
business people
thing.
as well, isn't there? That
Yes,
Larry
some
Miller's
Japanese
throwing
business
around.
people.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's some jokes
I
about
hate
that, and then
things.
I mean the I mean Shep's boss,
All
he turns
right.
into the
Yes.
villain, the
Okay.
bad
Yeah.
guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, wasn't he his boss that he turned into the main bad
I
guy?
don't remember that.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. Anyway, so there's a bad guy who comes. I'm pretty sure it was his boss ends up being the bad guy, and then he turns into this kind of like big lizard thing, the kind of rubber monster, and they have a big fight, and yeah, and then Shep, realizes he likes Earth after all, and makes you know deep connections with his host family here on Earth, Christopher
Right.
Lloyd and Shelley Duvall,
Right. Because
and
he's
yeah,
a
and goes
different kind
off.
of hero, isn't he? He's loyal.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. And then he goes off and possibly sometime to return, but he doesn't like to say goodbye.
Oh,
So so he might be back in Suburban
right.
Commando 2, but I guess not now because now he's dead. So
Before we get into whether we enjoy and all that, there's one little small element of this film that just confused me. So I'm wondering if this
okay,
made sense to you, right? So
okay,
as part of the trying to build Christopher Lloyd's character as this kind of put upon 9 to 5 and
mm,
drudge of a lifestyle, blah blah blah. There's this
yeah.
whole recurring gag where
Oh,
he's
with the
lined up
cars?
at some traffic lights
Yeah,
and then like almost like it's a not chicken it's like a who's fastest off the mark kind of with his
mm,
neighbor. It's always the same woman in the car next to him or whatever,
yeah, yeah,
and it's like who's and then they all race off, and then there's another set of lights. It seems to be the next set of lights, and the idea
mm,
is obviously to get through them before it turns red and everyone else does, but
right.
he stays like this. Just this section to me where I couldn't get my like where is there a road like this? Like I didn't understand. Like so, because he seems to have
Oh,
to
so
back all
it
the
was
way
the
back.
reality of it. It was
Yeah,
not realistic enough for you. That
was
part was
it?
not
He
realistic enough.
seems like he has
Okay.
to back up to the, and I'm thinking, so I don't understand. I don't think this like you could do that in a way that made sense, right? Or he's always
Mm.
racing the woman, and the woman goes ahead of him, but he almost doesn't seem to be competing with her. It's
Well, I
just to
think the
get
key
through the light.
because they do that at the beginning, and then it goes into Shelley Duvall's introduction character, and she kind of explains what that's supposed to mean, which is that he's not a risk taker, right? And so the idea is that that they have two lights that are close to each other, and as this one goes green, if you speed through, you can maybe just make that one, or you can kind of just run the red as it turns red,
Right.
right? But the fact is that by the time he gets there, it's starting to turn red, so he doesn't have the risk. He doesn't want to take the risk of going through the
Yeah,
red.
but you
He
shouldn't have
thinks
to
it's
take
too
a risk
risky, so he'll stop.
because that bit in the middle
So
is
that's why
just
he
dead.
stops, or
You're
or
in
he
between.
or he gets he chickens out because no, oh, it's red. I've got to go back, right? So even though
No,
everyone else is
but what I mean
brave
is,
enough to go
if
through,
he
right?
went
So
through one set of lights and then another one, that's a risk. But just that one to the other, that's very poor city planning.
yeah. Well, there's some places around my city where there's like two lights, one block apart, and if
Yeah,
you
no, just
make
that bit.
one,
I
maybe you
wasn't
get
like
enough
it
time.
wasn't like. Don't get me wrong. I understand it's supposed you're not supposed to take it too seriously, but even in this kind of cartoonish film, it's supposed to be easy to understand, right? And I thought that
Right.
was
But then
that
Shelley
completely.
Duvall comes on right afterwards, and she's like, oh, you need to be a risk taker. You need to try to take more risks and ask for that raise. And so she's trying to get him to ask
No,
for a
no, I get
raise.
it, but they should have
And so that's kind
illustrated
of
it
the
more
idea.
as a because that doesn't
Yeah,
seem
I
to me
think so.
like something that seems like something you should be able to do to go through the lights, right, without having to. Anyway,
Right. Yeah.
I
Anyway, I
I
think it's
just
just
thought
to
that
show
was a
that he's
bit
kind of.
seemed like a last minute rewrite thing that they shoved
I
into.
think so. Yeah. So,
Yeah,
but I think the idea was they were supposed to be mild mannered and
yeah. Because other than
weak
that, he's
minded
not
and not
particularly right.
strong.
He just goes to work. He
Yeah.
seems to actually have a quite nice, I would say, probably quite well paid job. And just every now and again, he goes to see his boss who's an asshole, and he just doesn't get a raise. He doesn't seem like to live that much
And
of a
also takes
horrible
credit for his also. Yeah.
lifestyle. Right? It's not that
Yeah.
you don't get the feeling that he's constantly put upon by his
Yeah, his
coworkers.
wife dresses up in sexy outfits and wigs.
Yeah, his life
Yeah.
seems okay to me. He's got two kids. Even the kids aren't annoying in this film. That's the amazing. You hardly see
Yeah.
them, to be fair. That's why they're not annoying.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
they're there at
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
beginning for Hulk Hogan to pick up, and hey, that was cool.
Yeah.
And then they turn up at the end, and in the middle, oh, one of them almost gets hit by a car, and that's about it, right? Um, I thought the kids.
Yeah.
My memory of because
Wasn't
the
one
kind
on
of
the
film.
wasn't there one on the skateboard too when he throws the skateboard into space?
I think that's the
That was at the
the
neighbor's kid.
kids in the neighborhood. Yeah,
That's a different kid. Okay, different
It's
kid.
we.
Yeah, I
It's
couldn't tell
actually
them
quite
apart.
odd if you think about it. Normally, this kind of film aimed at kids has at least one child protagonist, right? It's actually
Yeah.
quite odd that this film doesn't. That they chose to go for kind of Christopher Lloyd is right.
Yeah. I think. Well, I mean, This was 91, so it was like he's still high on the Back to the Future cycle, right? This would have been the same
Yeah,
year as
but
Back to the
isn't
Future
it weird
2.
that they didn't have like he befriends his son as played by Macaulay Culkin or something like that? That's how these films usually
Yeah.
work, right?
Right, yeah. But I think they were going on off the fact that Hulk Hogan was like like a hero to kids, right? All the kids were watching like super, Hulkamaniacs and stuff like
Right.
that. And then also Back to the Future and going off, you got Hulkamania and Back to the Future put together. Like, how can you go wrong, right? So you don't need the kids,
Yeah,
right?
I
So,
just
but
it's just again to your
yeah.
point that he's a hero of children. And that's how I remember this film. I thought he must befriend a child. Surely that's how these films are
Mm.
always put together. But no,
Mm.
there's kids in it,
This
but
one
they're all
does.
quite
This
peripheral.
one does not follow the
Yes,
rules,
it breaks the
right? It
mold.
does it.
Hey
It
guys,
breaks the
like and
mold. It
subscribe.
goes, hey guys,
Tell
I'd
us
like
how
to like
much
and
you
subscribe
love.
for Suburban Commando.
We're
Suburban
here to
Commando breaking the
reevaluate
mold,
Suburban
doing
Commando.
doing things that you don't expect, Mr. Hulk
Criterion, are you
Hogan.
listening?
So
Um,
yeah, so he yeah. So first watch for you, Clive. Have you seen this
No,
before?
I saw this. Well, as you know, because the one thing I remembered about this film was the
Was the
a
mime.
4-7 force field, which did kind of make me laugh when I was a child because it's so
Yeah.
stupid, and it's always funny to see someone punch a mime. Right? That's always good.
Yeah. Sure.
Um,
3 times. He does
yeah.
3 times. Yeah.
Well, I had a bit of a journey with this film, and I don't quite know what the truth of it is. So halfway through watching this film, I believe I texted you to tell you how much I hate you,
Yes.
and then
Oh, I thought it was at the end because you said you were going to bed. So
well, that's the thing. So I was halfway through, and then I had to get up really early the next day. So I took a sleeping medicine, which is also a bit of a mood elevator. And I went to the bath, and I came out, and I watched the second half of Suburban Commando. And I couldn't tell, does this film kind of get better, or am I just in a good mood now? Because I have to admit this, I found the second half much less annoying, and also, so we should mention as well, the other thing I was surprised going back to watch this, it's directed by Burt Kennedy, right? And Burt Kennedy has a very long history of first writing and then directing westerns. Like that's his thing. Is
Uh,
he's a
mm,
western director, which is why you
right.
have Jack E. Lamb as the next door veteran character. I guess is like a character,
Hmm.
like a because Jack Elam's in like every western ever made, right? So it's like a
Mm,
favor to him, I guess, to have him
right.
this little throwaway role. And then, but it kind of made sense, like towards the end of the film, when there's more that when there's more action. I have to admit, the action's quite well done. Like for this kind of
Well,
because
I mean, I mean, he's a wrestler. I mean, Hulk's a
no, no,
wrestler. I
no, I
mean,
don't mean that so
so
much. I mean,
I
like,
think.
just in terms of the way they shoot it, and you have like people
Mm,
shooting up through floors and like that, and like
mm.
the
Oh,
cut.
okay, yeah,
That
yeah,
stuff's
yeah.
actually quite difficult to pull off. Like
Mm,
do it in a comic or something, but to pull it off in film is quite difficult. So you know where you are
mm,
in relation to other. Action always gets away from directors. Like you don't know if you don't shoot it in the correct way. You don't know where people are in the shootout or whatever.
mm.
But all the action stuff in Suburban Commando was surprising, like better done than straight up action science fiction films of the period. I thought, oh, that's
Oh,
actually it doesn't make the film a great film, but it's just well, they pulled that off, and then when the monster suit comes out at the end and stuff as well, I thought, oh,
mm,
that's so I was like, and it kind of makes sense because oh yeah, okay, Burt Kennedy's been directing westerns and action for fucking decades, so
mm.
I think so. I don't think it was
That's his
just the
forte.
mood elevation of the drug. I think it probably does become um, a film you can appreciate more. I didn't say like, but you can appreciate more in the second half because the action and stuff is actually quite well done,
Uh,
more
mm,
than the comedy stuff as the fish out of water comedy stuff. So by the time
right.
the film ended, I was like, fuck. I have to apologize to Ron now for saying I hate him because actually I don't.
Yes.
No, I didn't like it, but
Yes,
it's
I win. No.
taken on its own
Hey
terms.
guys. Hey
Hey
guys.
guys,
Clive likes Suburban
Ron
Commando. Smash the
slams
like button.
Clive. Um,
He's smashing the like button for Suburban Commando.
so yeah, I would say taken on its own terms. To be honest, because you don't want to be a dick about it. So, but Bourbon Commando isn't bad. It isn't awful for what it is. I will say.
Right.
How did you
Yeah.
get on with Suburban
Yeah.
Commando?
I loved it. I
Really?
giggled
That
all the way through.
much?
I thought it
Wow.
was great. Yeah. I was like, I'm so glad I chose it to watch again because I just
Did you love
you
it
know
as a child also?
I don't really remember. I don't remember
Oh,
much about this movie at all. I mean,
oh, okay.
I saw it, I'm sure, in the early 90s. But I mean, I was a teenager by then, so I probably didn't really think much of it at that point.
Right.
So, yeah, I was like, yeah, so, but I don't
You
know,
had to
now
wait
that
until you were
I
15.
had to wait. Well, it's because the whole thing is dad jokes, right? I had to wait till I'm a dad to
This
appreciate
is
the dad
true.
jokes, right?
This is
Yeah,
true.
I mean, literally, it's just like dad joke after dad joke after dad joke, and it was like I just like giggled all the way through this like whole. I thought it was hilarious. I thought it was, yeah. I mean, if you ever, it's just they're all corny jokes, but they're
Yeah.
all just made me laugh.
You
Like
should have watched it.
it's
Did you
like
watch it with
the
your family? Because I can imagine your children cringing
I
as you're laughing.
I was about like halfway through, and I was like, oh, I should have watched this with my family because I think they might because I'm trying to get them onto like dad jokes and stuff like that, right? So and puns and
Right.
stuff. So I think they might have at least appreciated a little bit of it. So
Well,
maybe I might rewatch it with them.
it's the whole experience then, right? If you're enjoying it and the
Yeah.
rest of your family thinks you're a loser, that's
Yeah.
the whole
Well, but
thing. It's
that's
brilliant.
every time I make a joke is the same thing, right? It's like my wife. I can imagine watching with my wife where she'd be just like the whole time, right? Like because that's what she does every time I open my mouth, right? So, yeah, I don't know. I just think it's so many corny dad jokes, and I
Ron,
think it's
our
just
very own
one
suburban
yeah,
commando.
yeah, yeah. Oh, all over and over and over again. It was like, there's another. That's a good one. Like I was like just giggling. Like
Wow.
if I had had a mood elevator, I'm sure I would have been like like that. Yeah, and then it got into like the as you said, the action stuff was pretty well shot. I mean, it's
Hmm.
a decent movie. I think it's. I mean, Hulk Hogan is not a good actor. He plays
Oh,
Hulk Hogan, but
yes.
I mean, in terms of like, I mean, a couple times, I think it was, I read that this was originally written for Arnold Schwarzenegger and
Ah, okay, that makes sense.
Danny DeVito as the Christopher Lloyd character.
Ah, like a follow-up to
But then
Twins or something.
No, it was then they dropped out to do Twins. This was the same
Ah,
time as Twins. So then that's when they got in the other one. So I think Arnold Schwarzenegger has better comedic timing than Hulk Hogan does. I think Hulk Hogan can appreciate a good dad joke, and I mean, a lot of the jokes are and so that's what I said about that. Can you hear me now? Okay.
yes. So,
So yes, yeah.
yes,
So I don't
like
know.
you
I
said,
think
complaining that Hulk Hogan isn't a great actor. It's a bit like those people
yeah,
whining about
yeah,
George Lucas
exactly. So,
destroying the
but I
Titanic.
mean, he's doing his best, and he plays the big guy, and a lot of the jokes are
Yeah.
based. Oh, look how big he is, kind of thing, right? Yeah. And so I don't know. I think it was like a fun, hour and a half. It's not long. It's like an easy hour and a half watch. You gotta giggle through. It was like just it reminded me a little bit also of what was it? Rock and Roll Nightmare.
Oh, really? With John
Yeah, this
McLaughlin?
with yeah, like big guy and kind of like and then rubber monster at the end. It's kind of
How
it kind of
dare
has.
you compare Suburban Commander to the masterpiece
I
that is
thought
Rock and
I
Roll
thought I was
Nightmare?
surprised that you hated this so much because if you like
Why
Rock and Roll
didn't?
Nightmare,
If
it's sort
you
of like
if
yeah,
you listen to what I said,
yeah.
it,
So or at
yeah,
least I was going on your based on your text, of course, right? So
right.
so yeah, so because I think if you had taken out Hulk Hogan and replaced John Michael Thor, it would
It would
be
have been an
almost the same
amazing film.
movie.
Yeah.
But you would have liked it, or if it was an independent film rather than this sort of like relatively high. I don't know if it was a high budget, but it was like it had money,
Yeah.
right? So
Well,
it
it would
had
have been
like
a
the
different
space
thing. It
stuff.
would have
Yeah,
been a different thing then
yeah,
with John
would have been
McLaughlin.
very different, and I think you would have like this is great, right? So I think this is a movie that you write off because of Hulk Hogan, maybe, or because
No,
of
I've
the
got
cast.
nothing against Hulk Hogan. Just my memory of it from before, I think.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So
No, but like I said, yes, it isn't off. I'm not rushing out to watch it again, but
yeah.
yeah,
And
it was
the last
it
thing I'll
was
say also
more
about it was
painless than I thought it would be.
Uh,
At least the
yeah,
second half.
and the last thing I'll say about it is that there's all these a lot of like that, as I said, kind of dad jokes and puns and stuff like that. But there's also one thing they did really well was they did really good reincorporation where they would bring back jokes, where they would callbacks,
Mm.
like they would just like he throws the skateboard into space and the movie goes on and like 30 minutes later you see the guys in space and then the skateboard is still going. Like they 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 come back to the joke again, right? So I mean, the guys he wrote it. I mean, you may like it or this kind of comedy or not.
Frank Capello.
Yeah, whether or not you like this kind of comedy, the comedy was solid. It was it was
It's
followed through. It wasn't
consistent.
just sort of
Yeah.
it wasn't slapdash. It was someone who basically understood comedy and was doing that kind of comedy specifically and was quite good at it, I thought. So, and if you don't like puns, sure enough, that's fine. But I think the writer did and did it well. So I thought, I think in general, I think this movie gets shit on a little bit too much. So that's what I have to say about that.
There you
Smash the
go.
like button.
Yes, defending. Um, yeah,
Defending
the
Hulk.
name rang a bell. Actually, the writer. I'm just looking it up now. Um,
He wrote
yeah, he
Constantine.
also wrote Constantine, which was not good.
Not very good either. Yeah, I remember my friends and I saw Constantine in the theater, and we like laughed because
Yeah,
like because it was so unintentionally hilarious, and
it's
everyone was like, "What's happening?" I was like,
also I didn't have the context for it because it is, isn't it
"It's on a comic book." Yeah.
yeah, but isn't it the comic as well? It's a spin off from another comic, isn't it as well? The character like
Oh,
uh,
possibly. I don't know. I'm not sure.
Hellblazer, but then Hellblazer is, I think, anyway, there's some comic
Later.
bullshit. Yeah.
Hellboy.
No, what was I think Constantine he was a minor character in another comic, and then he got the Hellblazer. Anyway, someone will know. Like and
Oh,
subscribe. Let us
okay.
know. Blah
Yeah,
blah
yeah,
blah.
let us
Not that
know.
we
Comment
really care.
below. Yeah, yeah.
Right.
Anyways,
Okay.
we should move
So
on to yours.
yeah. So I went with you went with Hulk Hogan. I went with the concept of time travel. So
Mhm.
obviously, a whole bunch of stuff I could have done. But a whole bunch of I could have gone for old favorites, and I could have gone for things I haven't seen yet, which sound interesting. I was kind of tempted to go with because I thought you would find it really interesting if you haven't seen it. Have you ever seen the movie? Have you ever seen that movie whose name I can't remember? Have you seen that?
Probably, yeah, or not, maybe not. Yeah, I don't know.
Fuck, what's
There's a 50-50 chance.
it's
There's a
by
50-50 chance
the
I've seen it.
it's by the director. If I say it out loud, it might come back. He went on to make Upstream Color. Yes, and it worked. Primer. Did you ever see Primer?
No.
Very interesting little low budget science fiction film. I think an interesting film for first time filmmakers to see, actually, because it's fascinating how much you can do with not that many resources.
Okay.
And surprisingly, the science in it, unlike a lot of science fiction, is actually quite solid. Like, you wouldn't think there's much connection between a refrigerator and time travel, but actually the science of how a refrigerator works does kind of tie into time travel, which is kind of fascinating. Anyway, a rec.
Okay, I'll put it on the list.
Yeah. But then I was thinking, well, a particular area of fascination for me is I'm a big fan of Soviet science fiction films, because a lot of that stuff, you couldn't see it for years and years and years. And now, you're getting to see disc releases of that stuff. And it's always fascinating because they're always like, they threw a lot of money at them. They look like proper big, but they were goddamn commie films. So we didn't get to see them, right?
Right.
So I'm thinking, I wonder if there's any interesting Soviet science fiction films specifically. I almost chose Kin Zadza. I don't know if you've ever seen that one. Fantastic, also a science fiction comedy from the 80s, which I'd never heard of. Just so happens it was a hit here in Japan. That's how I know about it. So I don't think it played much outside the Soviet Union, but for some reason it was a hit in Japan. It's a big kind of cult film here. And Kin Zadza is excellent. I almost chose that, but I thought, I'll go for something I've never seen. Looking around for things with a good reputation, and I landed upon Ivan Vasilievic, Back to the Future, or Ivan Vasilievic Changes Occupation, or in the original Russian. Here we go. I'm going to mangle some Russian. Ivan Vasilievic Menyает Professию. Like and subscribe if you like bad Russian. Click the link below. From 1973. I'd never seen this film before, assuming you hadn't either. Turns out to be the last of a trilogy as well, right? Which is something I didn't realize.
Oh, was it? Oh, okay.
Yeah, so the director Leonid Gaidai made 3 films starring Alexandra Demyanenko as the Shurik character, so the main guy in this who builds the time machine.
Builds the time machine.
Yeah.
Okay.
So so apparently this follows Operation Laughter and Kidnapping Caucasian Style. I don't know if they've got any science fiction element or not. I suspect they might do, because I think he's always like an inventor character, right? So yeah, so this stars Alexander Damianenko as a kind of this scientist who's working at home, and he's created this kind of device, time travel device, very much in the H.G. Wells kind of time travel device, right, where it moves forward in its own space, and all around it is
right.
So you can exit.
Yeah, it's got like whirly gigs and springs and stuff hanging off it, and
but
it's
not like it's not a time and space machine, right? It's just everything around it kind of, and then you can exit, and that's exactly what happens, because they go back to medieval times. Ivan the Terrible is there, or Ivan the Terrible, who is the same actor, Yuri Yakovlev, who plays his nosy landlord character, right? So and then yes, I suppose hilarity does or does not ensue as Ivan the Terrible escapes into the modern day, and then some of the modern day characters go back to the medieval times, and all sorts of those hijinks you mentioned earlier. I suppose it's got a little bit of a Bill and Ted vibe to it, this film.
Yes, it definitely had a Bill and Ted. I was like, I mean, if I probably would never choose Bill and Ted, but that would be the most obvious reaction to this movie.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah,
very
yeah. So
close
Bill and
cousins, are they?
I wonder if Bill and Ted ever saw this movie before
Yeah, I
they
don't
came out.
know.
So
I
yeah, I don't
suspect
know.
probably not, because that's when's
Yeah,
the first one? 89 or something. So
yeah.
yeah, probably not. And you can easily see how people would end up with the same basic
Sure.
idea,
Yeah, same
right?
idea. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
But no,
Sure.
but it is definitely comparable if you're kind of looking for something that it might be like. Um, yes, based on a play by Mikhail Bulgakov. Um, yeah, and it's a very broad comedy, slapstick.
Hmm.
It's also a semi-musical, right? There's lots of musical numbers in
Yeah.
it.
Hmm. They do
Um,
like yeah. I mean, there's like even full on like um Benny Hill like sped up chase scenes.
yes, yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Not really what I expected at all, to be honest. Um, I mean,
What did you expect?
I didn't expect. I thought the comedy would be a little lighter. I didn't think it would be
Uh,
this. And I thought for some reason I got into my head it might be a bit more satirical. I think, but I think that's my
mhm.
own fault because I, because I'm expecting something to come from the other side of the Iron Curtain to have some sort of, you know, um, kind of
uh, Stick it to the
thinly
man.
veiled, yeah.
Right,
And then
right.
you
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
forget that, oh no,
Everything has to be political.
they were just making,
These silly movies. Yeah,
movies to entertain the masses. Yeah, yeah, which is very
yeah.
much
Sure. Yeah,
what this is really.
yeah,
Um,
yeah. Hmm.
um, and as such, yeah, I suppose not unlike Suburban Commando, it's
Yeah.
kind of pretty good for that kind of thing. I mean, I can't say I loved it, but I didn't find it boring. It's kind of amusing. I can see why it's fondly remembered, especially I can imagine someone who saw it as a kid or something on Russian
Mm.
television or something. I can
Yeah,
see why they would have fond memories of it, right? So
yeah.
yeah, so I'm glad it's always interesting to see mass entertainment from another country, right? Just to see it through a slightly
Mm.
different lens.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, this would play pretty much anywhere. There's nothing about it that screams, Iron Curtain or anything, right? It just plays like a
Yeah,
broad Bill and Ted style SF time
yeah.
travel comedy, and it was
Mhm.
fine. I won't be seeking out the prequels, but there we go. How did you get on with it, Ron?
Mhm. Yeah, about the same. I was mostly just shocked that Russians have a sense of humor. I thought so. I was like, oh, it's
Ron
actually
slams
I
Russia. Like and
oh
subscribe.
I can describe.
Hey
Hey
guys.
guys, Russians don't have a sense of humor. Um, so the yeah, I thought it was pretty fun. I was more taken aback because again, I probably was also had the same I had the same kind of expectations you did that it was going to be something a little bit more serious and satirical or straight up kind of like political of some way,
Right,
but I was more pleasantly surprised that it was lighthearted, that rather than
right,
disappointed, I think. So yeah,
right,
so because I wasn't really in the mood for that kind of movie, but I was like, oh, this is just like a fun farce, you know sped up chase scene,
right.
like fish out of water, changing of what do you call it? The misunderstanding character, or like what do you say? Like the switching characters, or what's the word I'm looking for? Help me out. Um, like mis identifying people, or uh, like switching roles, and they,
Yes, yeah, I know what you mean. I don't
thinking
know
it's
what the
someone.
word
Yeah,
you're
that,
looking for is,
yeah.
but yeah.
I can't think of it anyway. So, anyway, that kind of stuff. So it was, like, yeah, so it was, I don't know, it was fun. It was a lot. I got on with it a lot more than I expected it to. I was like, oh,
Right.
here we go, another
Don't
Russian
worry, Ron.
movie.
Don't you worry your little socks.
I'm sure you'll have
Next
lots of shit
time
to come with.
I will
Yeah.
choose a
Oh,
6 hour
well, you made up for it with the,
black and white Estonian film, only
yeah,
from
yeah,
one camera angle.
yeah.
I got you
Oh, you
covered.
made up for it with this, with the septic shock, so don't worry. So, um, so yeah, so it was okay. It was, and again, I thought it was a good companion piece with Suburban Commander. They're both kind of like silly comedies, about fish out of water comedies. Something about a big kind of scary guy doing stuff that people wouldn't expect him to do, and
Yeah.
and yeah, I don't know, it was kind of fun. Yeah, it was all right. Yeah,
It's odd that they always call them fish out of water comedies, because actually the
yeah,
reality of a fish out of water isn't funny at all. They die. That's it.
yeah. There's die. Yeah, so
Nothing amusing at
yes,
all about a fish out of water, really.
yeah, yeah. But
Right.
yeah,
Okay.
it got us some fun stuff with the 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 landlord who pretends to be Ivan the Terrible, but he's kind of an idiot. And there's a lot of good stuff with like, and then he's there with like the thief, and the thief is a little bit more clever, but he's like,
Yes.
dang, you idiot. So
Yeah.
I thought that kind of comedy duo stuff was pretty good. I thought they
Yeah.
did a good
I
job with
quite
that
like
stuff.
the pop art sensibilities of as very bright.
Mm,
And,
mm,
it's like that. It's funny that my wife made an interesting comment. She didn't see a frame of it. She only listened to it from over
mm,
there. And she
right.
said, "Oh, are you watching something Monty Python-y?" And that
Oh,
there's an element of that in there as well, isn't there? But she was
yeah,
getting
yeah,
that
yeah,
just from
yeah.
the sound, I think.
Just like the cadence and the
Yeah,
rhythm, yeah, kind of thing. So
yeah.
yeah, so yeah, it was fun. I don't have that much to say about it, but it was
No. Well,
yeah,
never
it
mind.
was
We
I
need to move
was
on anyway because we're running out
yeah,
of
yeah.
time.
So I
So,
was
hey
yeah.
guys, like and
Hey
subscribe,
guys,
smash it.
like
Hey guys,
subscribe.
etc. Blah
Yeah.
blah blah blah.